Hi everyone, this is Cody, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Stihl FS 94R. Okay, so up on this end it has, and the engine is actually really nice. It's a high quality, one of Stihl's high quality engines. Since this is a professional unit, it doesn't have any of the cheaper parts in it. So it's 24.1 cc's, and it has 1.2 horsepower, so this thing is actually really powerful, but yet the whole unit still only weighs 10.1 pounds. So that's actually really great because it's really light, it's powerful, and it's perfect for what I need it for. Okay, so taking a closer look up on this end, so right here you have the primer bulb, then you have the choke lever. So this basically has either choke on or choke off, and it just, when you turn the choke on, you pull it up like that. It would just spring back, so you pull it up and push it in, and then it's on choke, and it adjusts the throttle to the right position. So now to turn off the choke, you just squeeze the throttle, just like that. And then it also has a starter. It's not one of the nicer starters that Stihl used to put on their stuff. I'm not really sure why, but it's just not. And then up here you have a basically a spark plug cover, as well as a cover for all the other stuff. And then under here you have the air filter, or just a torque screw there. You take that off, and now this carburetor is actually adjustable. Although from what I recall, it adjusts itself for most conditions. But if you did have to adjust it for some reason, 10 years down the road or something, that is possible. And then looking over here, you have the fuel tank. Now it has this style lid. I know Stihl made others in the past. I don't know what's better, but this works fine. You just unscrew it. I like that it has a string, so you can just let it drop. It's not going to get dirty. And then you put it back on. Now it's not the easiest to tell how much gas it has in, although they do actually have a gauge on the side. So right here there is a gauge, but I found that that's not the most reliable looking at this, so I generally just take off the cap to see how much gas I have left. So it would have been nice to see a better way to tell how much gas you had, but it's fine as it is. Okay, so taking a closer look at the handle and the throttle. Now, it does have one of these, which all the newer trimmers have, I think. So you basically stick your hand on and you can pull the throttle. I like this because it doesn't interfere, it never catches. If your hand's on it, even if it's not all the way gripping it, it works. You just have to press it down a little bit to get it to work. And then the stop switch. The stop switch is actually really great because you don't have to hold it down, and it doesn't take time to reset. Like my Husqvarna blower, you press it once, but it takes 8 seconds to turn itself back on. So this is just, the switch turns back on once the motor stops turning. So you press it once, it turns off, and you can start it right back up again afterwards. And then it has your, this, like, whatever this is called, I forget what it's called. It basically sets your speed so you can't pull the throttle that much. I guess could be good for an inexperienced user of this who wants to trim around delicate stuff, but honestly, I've never used that. I'm just pretty good with the throttle, and if you don't need that much gas, you just don't pull the throttle that much. But if you were to have it set at a lesser amount and want full power, you can click it back. But for me, it's just easier to run without it, so I just leave it in the full-on position. Now, having a look right here, you obviously have your throttle cable, but this whole thing, the whole motor assembly, is actually mounted on a spring, which makes it great. Like the handle is nice and soft, but then it's all mounted on a spring, so that means that no vibrations really go through. Obviously you get a few, but it's nowhere near as bad as some trimmers, and you really don't feel any vibrations after using this for a while. Okay, so right here it actually comes with a strap. This trimmer is just so light, I've never really had to bother with that. But you can put a strap on, and then you have the handle here. Now this is basically the perfectly balanced position, so when it's in that position you can just pick it up and carry it. And then you have the loop handle around there. That handle is actually very nice. There's no padding on it, but because of the vibration control, it's not really a problem. And it's just a really nice shape for edging and trimming and everything you want to do with this. So you can trim with this, you can edge with this. I'm honestly not certain what sort of shaft it has. Like, I was told at some point, I think on YouTube, I heard it was a solid shaft, but according to the Stihl people, it's not. So I think it's like a in between. I don't think it's like a flex shaft. I think it's like but I don't think it's a fully like solid steel shaft. So I'm really not sure. If you know any information about that, that would be great. You can run grass blades on it. You can run the little triangle blade thing as well, but you couldn't run any tree cutting or extreme brush clearing blades or anything, just because of that. Now that also applies down here. You're not going to be able to put the gearbox attachments on, as far as I know. That's what the Stihl dealer told me. Now the guard, I really like the Stihl guards. They're nice and big, so nothing really comes back at you, but yet you can still see what you're doing because of the shape of them. So they work really well. Obviously they get dirty. I just cleaned this up the other day, so it's not that bad. And then the head, it's just like a typical head, trimmer head. There's nothing fancy. Doesn't have the feature where you just put the string in and then turn it. It's just a standard one, but it works good. You don't really mess up the grass when you're bumping string out. And then I use Echo Crossfire line. That's my favorite line. Obviously, if you like, that's kind of a personal preference thing, but that's the line I use. Now the gearbox does seem pretty solid. You can refill it with grease, which I haven't done yet since I haven't really had this long enough. I probably should soon though. Okay, so this trimmer retails for $350 or $349 or something, and I don't know. I think it's worth that if you are in the market for this specific trimmer. They do sell the FS94R. I mean the FS90R, which is more powerful. It's cheaper. I think it's like 120 or 130 instead, and it's capable of the gearbox attachments and the different blades and everything. So honestly, if you're just someone looking for, you don't have anything fancy to do, you're just looking for something good around your house, you'd probably be better off with that one, assuming you can service the valves on it, because it is a 4-cycle. But if you're looking for a good grass trimmer, probably to be used for lawn care, that's what I use it for. It's going to be nice having that 2-stroke because it's really fine control. Trimming around mulch is a nightmare, and with this it makes it pretty easy. So if you're looking for a trimmer like this, it's worth it. Otherwise I'd probably go with something slightly different. So now you've seen my review. I did do a first impressions video last year, so if you search my channel for that, you should find it if you want to look at that. But let's try it out, do some trimming. Okay, so that's it for now. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video.